They like the Latin song?
Mark, you're on mute.
I was saying you're on mute, Mark, on mute.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Good. Now I can say, hello, Dolly.
I had put it on loop and it was really, really fun. Yeah, I love that song. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're welcome. But I said that was the first thing that popped into my head when I saw your name. So, well, I hope everyone's having a good session so far.
Yeah, everyone is having lots of fun. Are you guys having fun?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really good.
All right, I see people coming in. All right, let me. Do you want me to share my screen now, Dolly, or did you have something to share?
No, I do not have anything to share, but do we want to give 1 or 2 minutes for people to join?
Sure.
Yeah. So we have 2 more minutes to get started.
Hey, Dolly, I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. I need to urgently go and get something.
Sure, Lakshmikant.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries, no worries.
So Dolly, do we have 5 minutes? I am a participant and have joined.
We have just 2 minutes. 9:25 is when we start.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure I have the Zoom chat up. Okay, so now I have Zoom chat, WhatsApp, Slack, all up.
Wow.
That's a bit much. So. All right. And I just sent you something I forgot to send you earlier, Dolly.
Okay.
All right, that's for the breakouts.
So Mark, would it be okay if we share this with everyone before they move to breakout areas?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, then. I think we are good to start. We have 32 players already.
Okay.
Okay, good morning, good evening, guys. So I don't think so I need to give introduction of Funconf for how we are going to play the game. But yes, I will not waste a minute because that is what we have seen, that we are not getting enough time. I'll quickly hand it over to Mark to introduce himself and then get the game started. Over to you, Mark.
Okay, thanks, Dolly. Let me get the screen shared here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Of course, my computer's acting. Oh no, it's been fine all day. Let me try that again. You know, if you don't mess up, it's not live.
Yeah, and that's the Murphy's Law as well.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully you're seeing my slides now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's go. Okay, so a little bit about me. As Dolly said, my name is Mark Kilby. I have been working with distributed teams either intentionally or unintentionally for many years, about 17 years total. I always wanted to work with co-located teams, but for some reason I would have 1 or 2 people remote, sometimes many people remote or groups remote. And for the last 6 years, I was working at a company where everybody was remote. They all worked out of their homes. So we would see more of this than nice backgrounds. So we would see each other's homes every day. Now I'm independent. My company is called K5 Labs. I work with distributed teams, organizations, and individuals, particularly coaches, scrum masters, product managers, who are trying to better understand how to work with their distributed teams. And last year published a book with Johanna Rothman, From Chaos to Successful Distributed Agile Teams. So that is available as well. But enough about that. Let's get to the activity.
Hey Mark, I just sent a message. The Google Doc that you shared, I do not have access. Could you please check?
Okay. All right. So while I am checking on that for Dolly, what we are going to do is learn about each other briefly. You heard a little bit about me, but I want to learn a little bit about you. Then I'm going to do an introduction to the activity. Then in part 2, I'm going to ask for a few volunteers to do a short demo of the activity. And so you can see how it works and how it might help. But then I'm going to have all of you go into breakouts and practice it yourself, because it's no fun just watching. It's better to actually do it. And then we'll have a little time at the end, hopefully, for a little reflection and a little bit of Q&A if you have questions from the activity, because there's many different ways this can run. All right, so let me find out about you. So right now, if you're planning on participating, I need you to do 2 things. First, I want you to go out on the internet and find a cartoon or emoji, or maybe you already have a favorite one on your computer right now that kind of resonates with you right now, what really represents how you're doing right now. And just kind of save that on your computer where you can pull it up later. And then once you're done with that, I want you to go to menti.com, enter that code, and there'll be a few questions for you to answer. And I'm going to set a 5-minute timer to give you that time now. So find your cartoon or emoji first, and then go answer those questions. And now, Dolly, I can go see what's going on. Yes, I see what I did.
Okay.
Okay, try now, Dolly.
Okay, trying now. Yes, I have access.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so seems as if some people have found their avatar to represent themselves, because I see them now jumping into Mentimeter. Excellent. And if you just want to watch, that's fine, but it's going to get really boring in the second half because we're all going to go into breakouts. All right. And I'll share the Mentimeter poll here in a minute. I want to make sure everyone has a chance to get in. Actually, let me go ahead and put that in Slack. I'm sorry, in Zoom chat. See, too many channels today. Code 93828. All right, we've got 16 that have voted so far. All right, so in the Zoom chat, you'll be able to see the code once you get your avatar picked. All right, let's see. So it looks like the majority have found their avatar. They are ready to play. Did you work with or within a team daily? So it looks like most have, which I assume so, but you never know. Does your team have working agreements? Is the second last question. And have you ever been surprised by the reactions from team members? Give it a little bit more time. We've got 30 that have voted so far, so we're getting about 2/3 of the folks here with us. It's excellent.
But Mark, if you show the results, it will influence people who are voting.
Yes.
It will change. Yeah, I would suggest it. We should show at the end.
Sorry, I didn't catch the first one.
No, I'm saying if you show the results on the board, because still people are voting, right? It will slightly influence them. So suppose assume the third one, team have working agreement, somebody might have given 4 or 5 also. So when they look
Well,
3.5, then they will try to make it 3 or less than that. You understood, right? It will.
yeah, I
You
understand,
won't get
but
the
yeah.
genuine feedback if you
Yeah.
show this.
But as an anonymous poll, I would think that's not that big a deal. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so we have 37 that have voted. I saw we have a couple additional participants that joined. So if you're just joining, we're in the Mentimeter poll right now, answering those questions. All right. I have not seen it change too much more, so I'm going to assume everyone else is going to observe. All right, thank you for that. All righty. Oh, I can't get it back now. Hold on, let me get back to the slides. Okay, so now that we have that, a little bit about the activity. And I call it activity because it's not so much a game as it is an exploration for the team. And it goes back to some of those ideas behind the Tuckman model. And I'm assuming many of you are familiar with this already. But the idea behind the Tuckman model is a team goes from forming, storming, norming, performing. And what was found out later by that model is actually everything kind of bounces back to storming. But so you want that conflict that happens with the team to be constructive conflict. And what I've found over time is that it helps if we understand a little bit of how we like to work for that conflict to be more constructive. And I've tried many different techniques over the 20 plus years I've been working with teams. So I've tried Myers-Briggs, I've tried DISC assessments, I've tried Strength Finder, but I find it takes weeks or months, and it really takes quite a bit of effort for a team to understand it, if they ever really understand it at all. There are some other approaches, such as liftoffs. If you know the book by Ainsley Nees and Diana Larson, that's usually a process of a week to 2 weeks. There's online systems like Prelude, which will also take you through a series of exercises to help you understand each other and get you into working agreements. But what I've found is sometimes the very simplest activities can get us the quickest answers to understand how shall we work together, and do I understand you? Do I know you? So the compass activity really comes in handy when you need to build empathy toward other team members. And this is through exploring their work styles. And it works quite well within most size teams. So I've used this with teams of 3 all the way up to teams of 10. And I've used it with many different types of distributed teams as well. We're going to modify this to a very short version just so everyone has an opportunity to participate. All right. But now what I need is 5 or 6 volunteers. So Dolly, do you want to tell them how they can volunteer?
Yes. Can we use chat? Can we use the Zoom chat so that you can ping me, or maybe ping everyone so that we know? Yeah, we have Deepshika,
Okay, great.
Manjari,
Okay.
Piyush, Ricardo, Dilon.
All right. And Ruby will be the last one.
Ruby, yes.
Yes. Okay, great. All right. So I am going to send you. Oh, I didn't have that. Let me send you this one. All right. So Dolly, I'm going to send you this sheet,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can send it to them.
All right.
Okay.
Sharing it.
All right. So for my volunteers, once you get access to the document, go ahead and put your avatar on the sides of the document. So either left or the right of the compass, and put your name on your avatar so we know who you are.
Can you share the link to that document?
Yeah, I am just sending
Yeah,
it.
Dolly's sharing it. Let me see if I can get in there and help you, Dolly.
Yeah. Finding
Okay,
the
so I shared it with
names.
Ricardo and Ruby.
Oh, I just did with Ruby. Maybe
Was
can
it
you share it with Piyush?
Piyush? Yes,
Yeah.
got it.
So whoever volunteered, can you please confirm you got the link? Anybody else missing?
All right, so
Yeah.
excellent. Okay. So once you have the link, get that avatar or cartoon you picked out earlier and put it to the side and put your name, just your first name on it.
Sorry,
As
where
or
to put that cartoon? Where to put that cartoon?
either on the right side or the left side. It doesn't matter which side.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. All right, so now hopefully everyone is seeing the cartoons going up. Now,
Yeah.
when I do this with Teams, I might use the avatars they use in chat or an email. So it's whatever the team already uses that other team members would recognize them by. So it might be their own picture, but in order to kind of keep this somewhat safe space, we're going with cartoons. All right, I'm seeing people put their first names on there. Thank you.
Hi, Dolly. Can you please read your chat?
All right. Okay, now looks like we've got everyone's icons going up and names going on. Okay, so here's what I want those of you who are on the board to think about. So the compass points represent how you prefer to work typically, okay? It may not be the way you always work, but the way you typically work. So if you tend to quickly move into action, you would be in the north. You want to say, let's do it. I want to just move forward. If you're in the east, you like to understand the big picture before you move into action or the team moves into action. You want to understand the why, essentially. If you're in the South, you want to make sure everyone has a chance to contribute. You want to hear everybody else before the team moves forward. You want to make sure the team is moving together. And if you're in the West, you want all the details. You want to know the what, the how, before you feel comfortable with the team or yourself moving forward. So now I'd like you to move your avatar to the compass point that you typically tend to work from.
Hi, Mark. I have a question. What if we are in between, like Southwest? We want to know the details as well as we care about people.
So if you're on the border, that's fine.
All right, thanks.
It's not an exact science here.
What if avatar marks Mahavir? What if avatar also is like in east as well as in the south, so multiple direction? Because he would like to see a big picture as well as the other small details also.
So if it's multiple directions, I would say pick the one that you tend to operate from most. Like I said, this is not always driving you, but it's the compass point that tends to pull you forward the most.
Okay.
And influences your action. All right.
Yep.
Great. All right. Is everyone set? Nope. Okay. Ricardo's moving. All righty. Okay, so it looks like we're settled. So if we were a team, what might this picture tell you? So that's for my volunteers here to think about. If we were a team, what would this picture tell you?
The team has people who care about different things, have different priorities or ways of working.
Yeah, someone wants to act very fast, right? Like in the north, and in the west, we see, right? Someone wants to first understand who, what, why, and then start. So, if we have, a couple of team members with the attitude of north and, some others with west, they would be thinking entirely different.
Right, right. Ricardo, I think I saw you raise your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both comments, and I will add that I don't want to say that it would be an unbalanced team, but it would be really cool to have someone or a couple of people, pushing towards the east, because we are kind of losing the big picture if we just keep working the way we are.
Yep. Yep.
So I guess in the east,
yeah, go ahead.
I guess in the east we are more towards the people like who are CEO and CFO will look the big picture and then pass it to the lower down to the management team.
Yeah, so it could be a leader that fulfills that, but if you have somebody on the team, then the team can be more self-managing. I think I heard one more comment, and then I wanted to move to the next step.
So, yeah,
Was
is
somebody
it
else
we
trying
can
to?
say that the team is balanced because they have everybody everybody has a presence in each all the directions.
It could be. It could be. So this picture won't tell you everything about the team, but there are kind of some. It looks like there's somewhat of a balance. There might be, depending on what stakeholders or what leaders the team works with, there may be a problem with setting a vision because there's nobody easterly that much, and unless some of those team members that are a little bit more toward the east but didn't quite put themselves there feel like they will be able to kind of capture the vision of whatever the product or the project is. So let me give you some other questions to think about that'll
Mark,
help
we
with
can put
this.
your picture in the east.
Well, so I have done this where the teams have wanted me to be in there when I was playing either role of I would be set owner or project manager or something like that. But really what we want to understand is how we can work together as a team. Because sometimes, well, actually many times, we don't have a choice of who our team members are. And so by thinking about some of these questions, it helps us better understand how we might work together. So what are the strengths of your particular style? And can you capture that in 3 or 4 words? What are the limitations of your style? Can you capture that in just 3 or 4 words? What style do you find most challenging to work with, and why is that? And what do people from other directions or styles need to know about you to work really well with you? And what's something that you value from each of the other directions? So those of you who are my volunteers, think on that. And when you're ready, just go ahead and we won't do the 7 minutes in interest of time right now, but just go ahead and tell me if you have an answer to some of these questions.
So Mark, meanwhile, people are thinking, there is one question which is coming in my mind to clarify. So actually, this idea, what this activity is it going to tell the view or vision about the whole team or individuals like the members of the team as well? Because people in the team would have different mindset, and compiling or collaborating with all the team members, then we are trying to decide that what side the team is inclined towards, right? So I'm little confused that how or maybe how. I guess it would be part of your discussion down the line, but not sure. Maybe, but this question came so that I can also think in that direction that what we are going to do and how it will be further going towards what direction. So yeah.
Understood. Before I answer that, I want to see what some of my volunteers have to say, how they answer the questions. That'll probably start helping you understand some different ways this can be used. So do any of my volunteers have some answers to these questions?
Mark, can I ask something?
Can I go first? My name
Sure,
is
go
Anjali.
ahead.
Yeah, hi, I'm Anjali Kumar, and I have placed myself in the acting compass place. So what are the strengths? What I believe, the strengths is that there is no fear of failure. I believe, we have to always keep trying new things to know exactly if something will work or not. And the only way it is to try and give it a try, right? Do some experimentation and the agile way of working. The next are the limitations. Of course, sometimes the limitations are, yes, of course, there is always a chance that you fail, not you are not 100% accurate or you are correct, but you just take some chances and, you work upon it and see if it works or not. So these are some of the limitations that right now I think of. The style that you find most difficult is the one where the left one. Can you show me the above screen mark quickly, where probably Ricardo is placed? So sometimes it becomes a bottleneck when teams try to know everything just before starting the sprint. You cannot know everything, all the technical details, and you just cannot know, and it cannot become like a waterfall model where we know everything and then we start designing and you run into so that sometimes becomes a bottleneck for me to work on when I tell him let's take a chance and let's deep dive and get in there, and we will know when we go there. Let's cross the bridge when we get there, and it's okay to take fail, but doing too much upfront planning sometimes is kind of waste, because as we know, priority shifts, requirements change and evolve. So let's keep a little bit of uncertainty and go with it.
Thank you, Manjari.
Yeah, thank you.
So we heard from the north. So Ricardo, since you were one of the people definitely in the west, can you respond to the questions?
Yes, sure. Oh, can you go back to the
Yeah, sure.
graph, please? Yep, perfect. Okay, yeah, probably because of my background, maybe because of the experiences that I have, or probably the positions that I've held and the companies that I've been working on. It's just like start acting and going without thinking twice. Sometimes it can become reckless. And when there is a lot of money and stuff involved, well, you have to be very careful because you are not dealing with your own company or anything like that. So it's just someone else's projects. So that's why I try to understand as much as possible. Now, there are some strengths of that. So sometimes the level of risk goes down a little bit. You are more careful about the resources or that you have. But there are also some limitations because, yeah, as someone was saying before, sometimes you should take a chance and you will find out that there were some other like avenues to go, different just from trying to plan and control everything. One of the styles that is much more difficult to work with for someone like me would be probably someone in the north. It's just, let's do it. And yeah, but why? I mean, what is your goal? Well, no, it doesn't matter. Just let's start working. And sometimes you want to, it's not that there is a conflict, but if you don't manage those relationships in a very smooth way, it can be a little bit more complicated. People from our direction or styles that need to know about me in order to work well. Yeah, that I will always ask questions, probably too many questions, quickly, but too many. So you just have to be prepared to answer or at least to think about those things. Otherwise, we will have problems.
Okay. Can you also answer what you appreciate about the other compass directions?
That they complement myself. So someone who is reckless and, oh, let's do it. Okay, that's a very good compliment. As long as they don't go like crazy, as long as we can sit down and be on the same page, probably find a balance as a team, that's a perfect complement.
Thank you. Diptish, hopefully I said your name correctly.
Yeah,
Can
right.
you perhaps answer some of the questions as well? What do you see as some of your strengths from the South?
Yeah. From my style, them, so they need to be happy and they need to be collaborative, and because of my style I'm able to run, I'm able to facilitate, and I'm able to have a good high performing team. So this helps me a lot. So these are my strengths. And the major weakness which I feel is like, sometimes I too much focus on the people, where I sometimes get conflict with the POs. So because they will force things upon you, and sometimes there is always a tussle because of my too much focus on the people. And yes, the style which I struggle with the same, I think I will mostly struggle with the style of the note that always just immediately we can't do it. We need to see whether people are comfortable to do those actions or not. So first they should be ready to do it rather than just imposing things on them. That's it.
Okay. Can you say a little bit more about what you appreciate about the other styles?
I think more or less as a team, all the styles are required so that we have all the flavors and we can have a good running team. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to stop there in the interest of time. So you may have noticed we didn't go through all the questions. I would recommend you do, but notice that the one thing that I did make sure they tried to answer is, what do you value about the other three styles? So most of the team members here, they had a good sense of their strengths. They had a good sense of their limitations or their weaknesses. They certainly could pick out who they would have the most difficulty with. And by referring more to compass directions, it desensitizes a little bit of the conflict, and they can start talking a little more creatively about how can we better work with each other. But as part of that, you really have to get to the last question about appreciating. This is what I appreciate about your style. I realize that it's in conflict with me, but I know also that I need your style, or we need all the styles in some way to balance the team and help the team move forward. Okay, so now what I would like to do is have all of you try it. So what we will do, going back to the slides here, is Dolly will have, oh, okay, thanks, thanks Rinath. Dolly will send out some instructions in the Zoom chat, and then we will send you into breakouts. You're going to be in breakouts. We're going to give you a lot of time, so you really have time to go through the questions. So the facilitator will make sure that everyone can get their avatar up on the chart. You'll each get a copy of the chart. You'll have the time to place your avatars, and then you really want time to think about those 7 questions, and the facilitator will then have you talk through those questions. You may not get through all the conversation, but it's very important to try to get through those questions, especially that last one. So if you're running out of time, jump to the last one, and about what do you value about the other styles. And then at the end of 20 minutes, we'll come back and we'll talk about what are some of the different ways you can use this to turn it into working agreements, or maybe answer some of Anurag's other questions about how do we use this for individuals, for teams, and what else this might help tell us. Okay, any questions before we go into breakouts? No? Okay, looks like Dolly has sent the documents. And Dolly, are you getting everyone ready to go into breakouts?
Yes, so we have total 48 participants, so we will be breaking into 7 rooms. Is that okay?
That'll work fine.
Yeah, and we will set the time box for 20 minutes.
Sounds
okay.
Good.
All right then.
And I'll be popping into the breakouts to see how you're doing.
So did you all take the link with you? If not, please quickly copy it so you can take it along with you to the breakout rooms. Okay, here we go.
And I'll stay here with you initially, Dolly.
Yeah, sure.
Who's going to be the facilitator in each room, or we choose one?
You choose.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, see you later.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for asking or answering the question. Oh, she already left. Okay. All right.
So Mark, do we tell them that, in every breakout room, pick one facilitator within that room?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send that message. Okay.
And the instruction sheet should have had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And I see I've got the breakout room controls. Do you have any more questions for me? Otherwise, I'll start wandering between the breakouts.
No, I do not have any questions. Although I see Delon and Lakshmikant here on the main room. Delon, you need any help?
Might have stepped away from the computer.
Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Mark.
All right. I'm going to
Okay.
wander around and then I'll be back. Thank you.
Sure. Sure.
Where is my...
Hey, Lakshmikant.
What we can do is
We can choose our persona in the meantime.
Yeah.
Dolly's here, so
Hey,
we can
guys.
answer our. Dolly, how are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I'm
Yeah.
good. I think we need a canvas for each room.
Compass.
Yeah, Yeah, compass is missing.
Okay.
Canvas with compass.
So did you not get the link here?
We got the Word docs.
That's just the instructions.
Yes, we need the tools as well.
So the link that I have sent, you do not have.
It's just the instructions, so I can read it
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Can you
that's
just?
all.
Okay, there are 2 sheets. Can you just try and see if there are more than one slide? There are 2 slides.
There are 2 pages.
Yeah.
The second page is pretty much blank. The only thing I see on the second page is ask the group to reflect on their answers and what they might need for working assignments.
It's coming to the consensus part, yeah.
That's it. So that's just one sentence and it's a blank page.
So, Dolly, can we put the compass in the second page? What do you suggest?
Yeah. Maybe try that out. You can create one more slide and just put it. Because I'm still seeing that there are 3 slides and it has.
So, Dolly, have you sent out the Word document which has instructions? Is it kind of a slide?
Just let me just send it once again here. Or let me send Mark to your room. This is room number.
Yeah.
Which room is this?
Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, we still need 2 pages.
Can you guys just let me know what's this room number? 7. Okay.
That's room number 7.
All right, I'm going to check on the others.
Okay, what else?
खाना ना अभी तक नहीं खाया ना जल्दी
It would have helped if I hit leave breakout room and not leave.
yeah
Those buttons are too close together.
yeah so room number 7 needs your help.
Okay, I will go there now that I'm
Okay.
back. Or actually, can you send me there? I don't have the breakout controls.
Okay, room number 7. All right.
All right, here I go. Thanks.
Okay. You're on mute.
I wish I could turn that off. That option drives me nuts. So, oh, Padma, did you have a question?
No, I don't have. I am one of the facilitator, ma'am.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just went all, I hopped around the rooms and now taking rest in main room.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it seems that some of them had problems accessing the document.
Yeah,
So I
that's
had a backup set that
Mhm.
I had just checked to make sure they had edit permission. So it
Wonderful.
worked out. We're good. Okay.
I just check everyone is answering the questions, and I don't think a problem now at the moment.
Okay.
You-
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. How far are we into the timer?
So we have 8.
Yeah, 8 more
Oh,
minutes.
wow. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Time flies when you knock yourself out of Zoom. So. I hit the leave button instead of the leave breakouts button.
I was making sure that I do not end the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, please don't. That would be awkward. So.
No, I'll not.
Okay, very good. All right, so we have that questions. I'm just kind of what else they have. All right. Yeah, and after I didn't get a chance to post everything, but I'll put all the instructions for playing with a team are up on my site, but everything I used to run in this big group is not there yet, but I'll put that up there. So if one of you wants to run it in a future conference, you're welcome to do it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I suggest you have like 4 or 5 facilitators like we do now. But thank you for being here and helping. I really appreciate it.
Thanks to you, Mark, for actually making, taking out time and being here.
Yeah. Oh, and Padma had a helper. Oh, you don't have to turn off that camera for kids are welcome in my presentations.
Even that's what my daughter has been doing. She is going around.
Say hi to
Yeah.
Ma. Yeah. Can you see?
Hello. Oh, you gotta. There you go. Okay.
They are too sleepy now.
Oh, yeah. It's getting late there. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell everyone, kids and pets are welcome in my presentations, especially
Yeah,
when we all
that's
work.
it.
But oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Okay, we see you hiding in the background.
Say hi.
That's sweet,
Okay.
Dolly. You have a wonderful daughter. Hmm.
Let me just get one more thing up here. Nope, not that one. Oh, yeah. No messages. Yeah, that was my wife. She had forgotten her phone, so I was watching it for her.
Last 5 minutes. Less than 5, actually.
All right. Did you send them a reminder via the broadcast? Okay.
Yes.
Can you send them a reminder to talk about what they appreciate about the other styles?
So Mark, it is last 15 minutes for our game.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to give plenty of time for questions. So,
Yeah, yes.
yeah.
The
And we've got
other
what, 2 or 3 minutes for them to come back?
3.
Okay.
3 minutes.
Good. I see people are asking in WhatsApp about getting the diagram. They'll have access to all of it. So.
I just killed the video because internet connection is unstable.
Understood. Understood. No worries. And share my slides up here again. Are you seeing my slides again?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. Great.
Reflection.
Thank you. I will say this is the largest group I've ever run this with. So.
Oh, is it?
Well, I'm usually running a team at a time, not 7. So.
But Mark, out of this is my experience. Out of all the games that I have seen, this is the most organized and very, very clearly detailed out game.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
And it's not all mine. I just adapted it for remote team. So if you go back in the references, you'll see some other articles that talk about variations of the game. So I'll tell them that when they get back. But yeah, I've just been able to find a way to make it work for remote teams. But thank you. I appreciate that. So. right, folks are starting to come back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm going to adjust my screen to be able to see everyone. Alrighty, welcome, welcome. Okay, now the room is filling up.
Yeah, and we have 10 more minutes to go.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait till we get critical mass. It's just like a real conference room. You have to wait for everyone to kind of pile back in.
Yeah.
All right, I see Ricardo, I see Deepti.
Hi.
Yeah, we are all back in, I guess.
Hi, we are back. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. We're at 40 so far.
I think we moved in all the directions. Now everyone is coming back.
Yeah. So, oh, so we have Dipti among us.
Yes.
Great. Wow, amazing.
She's the one staying quite full time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Dipti, for organizing this.
Thank you, Tanmay. Thanks for joining. And thanks, Mark, for taking out time in
Oh,
this
yes.
session. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of. Great to have a session with him.
And I love this activity. This is lovely.
Yeah.
Very holistic.
So I think we've got a good number back. So, oh, I get a little echo.
Everyone mute.
Thank you, Deepti. So I'm curious if you were starting a team tomorrow with that group, what kind of working agreements do you think you would need?
I will quit the next day.
Bye.
And you will go for the first day. That's
well,
great.
Mark, I will start with the last question. What is one thing you value about each of the other styles? So when you start valuing one attribute of the other styles, then you'll be able to see their perspective.
Yeah.
And I want to add to what Tanmay said, that even if you don't value, you at least know who has which strength. So, you can always reach out to that person in that particular scenario where that strength will work. Or learn from him. How can you be so detail oriented? What do you do? How do you think? Those kind of thing,
Yeah. Ricardo.
Yeah, sometimes I think that the most complicated thing is figuring out what the other people dislike about the way we act, or maybe it's not much about us, but the way they perceive our reactions, and that's why probably in a working agreement I would focus much more on that part than on my own. So not much about what I like, but how can I let's say please others in
Also
that
being
sense,
inspired,
or make
also
them
being
feel
inspired
more
by
comfortable.
other people's skill that you do not have. And like being a T-shaped individual, but not in a technical manner, like learning and getting inspired from them.
Yeah. It can be run in 20 minutes. Things I do when I run this with a team is I do not schedule anything immediately after, because you never know when the team wants to have that deeper conversation. I've had that happen where they say, hey, and I know we're running short on time. So with that, a few people have asked about the instructions. Yes, it's on my website. The slides will be available there. The templates will be available there. The instructions will be available there to you. And it's all Creative Commons. Feel free to use it. Because it originally was not mine. It was another exercise that was for location-based. I just adapted it to remote teams. But it works wonderfully with remote teams that maybe never have conversations like this, or very uncomfortable talking about their preferences. What I found is if you talk about it in terms of this compass point, it helps separate them a little bit so that they think more about what are the strengths, what are the limitations for each of us, and how can we work together. I think it was, I don't know, it was Deepak or somebody else that said that just now, but being inspired by the others to work as a team. So, and I think it was Anurag who was asking me earlier in this session, how would you use this? Well, certainly you can use this for team working agreements. I have seen team members also use this when they're in conflict and realize, oh, you're from the West. Of course you want all those details. And it kind of helps remind them the context that the person is coming from. And so it helps kind of diffuse that a little bit. When you lose a team member, I will often see teams say, okay, we want to go back to our compass diagram and see what did we actually lose. Let's talk about that. So it might be a conversation for retrospective. And if the team is participating in recruiting a new team member, they might look for certain qualities. Oh, we're missing this compass point. If you add somebody, I would have the entire team repeat it. Don't just have the new person put the information on the compass point. Have the whole team repeat, because they need to understand, they need to remind themselves of their strengths and limitations as well. So there's many different ways you can use that. And that information is in the guidance I have on my website. Okay, so you'll have plenty there. And if you have questions, you can certainly reach out to me. How much more time do we have, Dolly?
So we have just 4 more minutes.
4 more minutes. Okay.
I think it is a last session, so we can take 5 extra.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm following your guidance, Deepti, because you said we're strict on time here.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. If the organizer gives us 5 minutes, we would like to hear from Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what questions do you have? I want to know what questions you have from doing the exercise now.
Mark, I have one question. Bhaskar here from India.
Yeah.
The definition of these directions, do they remain same, or we are supposed to keep the definition as the same?
They remain the same. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And as we saw in the demo I did first, some people wanted to be on the line between two, and that's fine. Sometimes it's really hard to say, well, I'm and you'll see this in the facilitator guidance on my website that made you uncomfortable to share that. So, any other questions?
Yeah, Mark, the thing is that I find it very difficult to put myself in one quadrant because I have part of north, part of east, and part of me. The worst part is weakness.
The worst part is your weakness.
No, the waste part is my
weakness.
The
west is your weakness. Oh. I didn't want to do this here. I didn't want you to feel like you had to fill out the whole table. But when I work with a team, I give them this, okay, that they fill out together. So once they have that 7 minutes to think about it, we'll go around the room, the table, and then they'll step back and say, team canvas, or some other exercise even after this, or maybe they already have some idea of what they want to see?
And I also feel that it can be probably used more of as an assessment tool as we go into it. Like initially we have done this, after 1.5 months, 2 months, again just do this to just assess. Have we moved into those areas? Have we been learning from other, and have we moved into areas that we were not comfortable with early? And is our avatar, like a lot of people said, right, we are in northeast and all of that, but have we started moving into those areas? If we were just west, now have we started moving to a south or so? So it shows overall how the transformation of the team is happening compared to day one, and then 2 months later, how we have evolved as a team by learning from each other, by understanding what our weaknesses were at the beginning, and then we have now started understanding our weaknesses, and we have started moving in that area of weakness to address those weaknesses by